going to sing. I promise I'm not going to sing. I just wanted to say a few words at the beginning of this half of the program, and I might come back here from time to time to say a few more if you can tolerate it. So if not, just yell at me something and I'll go away. The first piece on this program is, as you can see, Bach Sonata No. 2. And I chose this one because the fugue is such a fantastic example of a fugue. And Bach, of course, was a master of fugues. So I thought it would be particularly appropriate to start with the oldest piece that I wanted to play on the program and sort of progress forward. The Milstein, which is the last on the program, is the new, but by no means are all the pieces in between in chronological order. You might have noticed that in the first part of the program there was a little bit of emphasis on the idea of sort of, I guess, inspiration and prior generations and how music comes together after that. So, for example, The Last Rose of Summer and the violin part to that. And I think Josh's singing and his words kind of hark back to an earlier time as well. So that's one reason I wanted to work with him. I just really admire him as a musician. But as for the music I'm going to play, I will start with Bach, who of course influenced all other violin composers to come, and all violinists have played plenty of this stuff. So for all of you out there, I'm sorry to put you through it again. But I'm always amazed with this fugue at how long Bach manages to draw it out and keep it interesting with just such a short melody. The third movement of that particular sonata is one that I have played on some very sad occasions, but also some very happy occasions, and I think it's appropriate for everything because it has a pulse going through it like a heartbeat. And the final movement is sort of a study in echoes. So if you weren't in here right now, this church would be a study in echoes all by itself. But I have to do them myself now in order to get that effect. The second piece on the program is by Eugène Ysaÿe, who was my teacher's teacher, so my musical grandfather. And in case you couldn't put that together. And I wanted to play this particular one because since it's called ballade, I think it refers a lot to the influence of singing on violin music, and of course that's appropriate for the evening. And also I picked it because it's the next one I have to learn. So I did number 6 first because that's the one that Mr. Brodsky studied with Ysaÿe. It's kind of a little story. He was studying with Ysaÿe in, I think, Paris at the time. Ysaÿe had just finished writing the 6 sonatas for solo violin, which he modeled kind of on Bach's 6 sonatas and partitas altogether for solo violin. And none of them are quite as long as any of the Bachs. But that's beside the point, because number 6 was the one that Mr. Brodsky chose to play for his lesson when Ysaÿe said, okay, I just wrote these, take them home and bring one back next week memorized. So it's kind of a tall order, and number 6 was the shortest, so he picked that one. And it's also one of the hardest. So I think he didn't sleep that week. And he never studied the others with Ysaÿe, but that's the one that I studied with him, and all the others I've kind of figured out on my own. So I'm really glad I had that introduction to it from such a direct link. And the rest of the program I'll get to later in hopefully fewer words than I just used. So enjoy the Bach.